Hey, I'm Sonja, and welcome to our Life and Podcast.
Woo! Party! How's it going?
Great.
Woo!
And, who are you?
Drunkico?
Drunkico.
Yeah. Which is apparently my alter ego when I'm partying. As we are today in our Life and Podcast. Today we are going to be discussing some of our adventures through partying. Actually, that is really good. I am 100% surprised.
Okay.
Want to try it?
Tastes like a popsicle.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
How much of...
I put a shot of sake in it. Yeah,
How much?
It was basically the only alcohol we had in here. A shot of sake. Like a decent little... Yeah.
Weird.
That is a fucking... It's not a bad drink at all. I'm surprised. I mean, that is just juice. There's no alcohol in it at all. So, anyway. Everybody, I assume at some point in their life has been to a party. At least majority of people watching this. And I've definitely had my share of experiences. I won't call them good or bad. But Sonja, why don't you kick off today's episode here?
Why? Because I have a lot less than you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a huge drinker. I've only been drunk like once or twice. It's not that I'm against it. I don't know. People don't invite me to parties, and I'm not a huge drinker. The first story I have is my friend's graduation party. They played Flip Cup, which is basically you have to take a cup, fill it with some alcohol, drink it, and you put it down, you have to flip it back on its end or something like that. Anyway, I kicked ass at it. I kicked her boyfriend's butt in it. This friend came, and she had cupcake vodka. And it tasted like ass. Don't do it, girls or boys or anyone. Don't do cupcake vodka. It's gross.
That? You know what they shouldn't do is maple vodka. That stuff... One of my friends used to mix it with orange juice and say that they called it breakfast. That's what it was called.
That sounds gross.
But whenever I had it, which was only like when I was really fucking gone, it tasted... Well, actually, I can't remember the taste anymore because I was gone.
Yes, you and your friend sweated maple.
Yeah, we sweated. We had maple sweats for a couple days. Not just a night, a couple days. But.
That's what I mean. Cupcake vodka, I think it was Smirnoff brand. It smelled good, but the taste was deceiving. The most memorable thing, it was a fun party, but the memorable thing, which is a bad thing, was a mutual friend puked because he was already like pre-gaming before he got here. Like, I don't know if he had another party or what, but he puked, and I went upstairs because I was spending the night and I was just getting something out of my bag. But he followed me upstairs, and he's like, oh, you're drinking? How drunk are you? And I'm like, I had one, and it was Smirnoff, which is like 0.5% alcohol. And he's like, oh, whatever. And he's like, then all of a sudden, he just lunges for me and tries to kiss me. I'm like, yo, because we dated for like a couple days, and he's like, oh, it feels weird because we were friends. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm like, dude, you broke up with me? And like, no, you're drunk and wasted. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story, one of the first stories you told me when we got together, and how...
Because it was fresh. Like, that happened, and like a few months later, we were like almost dating.
And I remember thinking to myself, if I saw that guy, I was gonna fucking knee him in the face. Obviously, this stuff happens more to women, and in my few party experiences, that's never happened. Generally because everybody there was fairly close friends and stuff. I mean, I guess you guys were, but...
Yeah, I would have kicked him in the balls and left, too.
But yeah, that's definitely a danger, especially for a female at these parties.
It wasn't a party, but it was at a restaurant, and I think it was before this graduation party, but we went to a Mexican restaurant, like a Tex-Mex style, and I had 3 margaritas, so I was almost buzzing. I was on the tip of buzzing, and I felt like I was hit by a bus, so I'm like, I need water, and I was like, no. They're like, oh, take another one, you'll be buzzed and you'll feel better. I'm like, no, I feel like I'm gonna die, so I just drank water the rest of the night. Now, the first time that I did get drunk, I guess I was really giggly, and Matt always tells me, he's like, you're really nice and like charitable, like just throwing your money away. I'm like, what? So I remember everything that happened. I wasn't like blackout drunk, but my sister and her husband were talking about like finances, like, oh, we have to save our money for this or that. And I'm like, hey, I have extra money. I'll lend you some money. I don't know. I was like out of it, and I was like, my mom had an ottoman, and I was laying on it like this, sprawled out. I'm like, ah. But I made homemade whiskey sours, and I think I put too much sugar and lemon juice in it, because that night I threw up, and I was kind of on the toilet like this, like falling asleep, and he was like, hey, you passed out there? I'm like, no, because I wasn't really asleep, I was just kind of like out. But I managed to eventually puke. I cleaned the bucket because I was like on the toilet. I know it's probably embarrassing, but I don't really get embarrassed. Anyway, I was on the toilet, and I had the bucket, and I didn't know if it was going to come out of both ends. It didn't, but I threw up in the bucket, cleaned it, and he offered to help. I'm like, no, I got it. So I went back out, because we were out in the living room, and we had like a mattress on the floor, and I brought the bucket with me, and I just passed out. The next morning, I had chest pain and stomach pain so bad, because like the acid from all the sugar, lemon juice, and all stuff with the homemade whiskey sours made me so sick. I'm like, I need antacids now. So yeah, that was like the one time I got like drunk, and I never have since.
Yeah, that night was like you said, probably the only time I've seen you close to drunk.
I was drunk. I wasn't gone drunk, but I was drunk. I was more than buzzed.
But I wouldn't say babysitting you, but I definitely made sure every once in a while when you were in the bathroom that you didn't pass out. I
thought when I was sleeping next to you, you would wake up ever so often and check on me too. Right.
Yes, because of reasons we'll get to in a minute, but not from you, but from one of my stories.
Oh. The last one I have, I know, I'm kind of boring, but not really. There was, like, a lot of drama at my cousin's graduation party. I don't know. Like, there was, like, rumors that someone was cheating on their husband, or, like, I don't know. So a couple fights broke out, and they're like, oh, you're flirting too much. I don't know. Like, not any fistful fights or anything, just yelling, and they just, like, walked away. I'm like, if you're gonna get drunk and you can't handle your alcohol being this emotional, you probably shouldn't. I mean, it was her night. It was her graduation party, and, like, they were starting all this shit, so to cheer her up, I decided to sing the campfire song from SpongeBob, and it did work. She did smile. But someone was, like, having fit, like, would you be quiet? And my sister stuck up for me. She's like, she's trying to make her laugh. Shut up.
And every party with people you don't generally know will have an asshole. I know I'm, like, fucking almost 10 minutes into the episode as I'm gonna say this, but drink responsibly.
That's a perfect time to say it.
My stories in particular will kind of shed some light on why it's probably not best always to get completely shit-faced.
You're definitely more colorful in this area.
And it's always probably just best to, throw that cautionary tale out there. I'm not endorsing it or saying to go out there and get completely smashed. Anyway.
You're good. I'm just trying to open a drink.
My first party, I guess you could say that... Jesus Christ. Actually, you know what? I could probably go a little bit further back.
Go for it.
So here's some incriminating shit. When I was like 12, I'll admit, probably wasn't always the best kid. And me and my friends had snuck out of the house while they were staying the night at my place, and we decided to see what we could do, I guess is the best way to put it. And me and my friends kind of separated at some point. I went back to my house, and I'm waiting on my porch, and I see the two other friends come back, and they're with this college dude. This guy was convinced by them that they went to college and were of age, even though they were 12-year-olds.
How do you mistake a 12-year-old for like a 18-year-old?
This guy was fucking gone. Also, let's pause for a second. So, he convinced them that we were college kids. We went to a party. We managed to get into a party that was down the street. Now, as good 12-year-old kids, me and one of my friends decided that we were very uncomfortable in this circumstance, and we decided to go home. My other friend stayed. About a half hour to an hour later, and I still don't know to this day how much he was playing it up, but he didn't seem like he was. We hear my friend come up the stairs to my house, fucking trumpling up the stairs, like stumbling and hitting every other stair, and he opens my door really fast, and he was like, I am drunk. And we're like, how many did you have? How many drinks did you have? And he's like, 2.5. He's a 12-year-old. I completely believe a 12-year-old could easily get drunk on 2.5 drinks. So he tries to crash onto my bed, is the first thing he did. And my bed's here, and this is him. He just goes, it fucking hits the floor like a ton of bricks. But he decided he had to go outside for whatever fucking reason. And he started walking up the street. And as he was walking up the street, we noticed that a bunch of police officers had actually busted up the party we had just left. And he was apparently too drunk to act normal, so me and my other friend had to sandwich him to walk him back to our house. But that's the drama, I guess, from that first party. I don't know. I don't regret the experience, but I do regret just doing it in general because it was definitely an uncomfortable thing and something that could have got us into a lot of shit if we weren't careful.
Like, you could have got arrested, but, like, it was awkward, too. Like, someone could have took advantage of you or something. But, again, how do you mistake a 12-year-old to a, 18-year-old?
To be fair, one of my friends here, the one that stayed at the party, probably wanted to be taken advantage of. Not by a man, which probably would have been what happened, but... party! So, the next party that comes to mind, we still were not of age, me and my group of friends, but it was graduation night, and I didn't graduate with my friends because I was down south when they graduated and came up. They had a graduation party, and they had a table of liquor, and for the first time in my party history, that table was completely fucking cleared within like 30 minutes. However, me and the friend that threw the party did not touch a single drop of alcohol. I don't know why he didn't drink that night, because he definitely was one to get drunk and have a good time, but he just decided not to. Then the fun starts. Everybody's starting to kind of get settled in, crash for bed. I turn over and see one of my friends, the youngest one among us, and he is just throwing up, basically, in his sleep. He was already out, and he starts throwing up. And this is what I was saying about why I was watching you a lot.
I've done that before, but it was because I had the flu.
So, we turned him onto his stomach, and he threw up again. So, not wanting him to die, I guess, our great fucking plan was we took an empty trash can, like one of the ones you put out by the roadside, and we basically flipped him upside down into the trash can and just left him there for the rest of the night.
How'd make it worse?
Well, I mean, gravity, you assume works, it just goes into the trash can.
All over him.
I don't think he actually threw up again, though. So we kind of put him in the trash can for no reason, but...
And he didn't move?
He didn't move, no.
I got passed out.
We kind of propped him up against the couch, so his legs were off the couch and he was in the trash can, but... So we thought we figured out that circumstance. We cleaned up all his puke and whatnot. And we turn over to go to bed, and as I turn over in the bed, I come into eye contact with another one of my friends who just turns over and goes bleh on the floor. Like, right as that happened. He was not like the other one. He wasn't completely passed out. So we're like, you're cleaning that. We're like, we're fucking done. You're taking care of that. But as you've noticed, neither of these stories I personally have gotten drunk in until this one. So, my friend, another friend, the one from the previous story that went to the party when he was underage, he decided he was going to throw some sort of shindig sort of shit. I don't know, shindig? Do people say that anymore?
Maybe. Down south.
But at his party, I decided to actually try getting drunk, test it out, I guess, test the waters. It wasn't the first time I was drunk, but it was the first time I was that drunk. And I think what we had was a 30-pack of beer, and of that 30-pack, I finished off like 18.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I was fucking gone. And what ended up happening is there was 2 couples there, myself and another guy that was single. The 2 couples split off into 2 separate bedrooms. And me and this other guy just started shooting the shit. And this guy, I can't remember everything he said at the time. I just remember him being very weird. So what I decided to do was I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm just going to pass out. So I do that. I pass out on the kitchen floor. No pillows, nothing. And
cold floor.
I don't know how long I was down there, but I get up. And I'm like, I'm going to try to find something softer to lie on. So I walk right through my friend's bedroom while him and his girlfriend, I guess, were, in the middle of something. And just out of nowhere, while I'm passing through the room, and again, they're doing stuff, I just fucking throw up all over the floor. And I'm like, oh my god. And I turn to him like, oh, I'll clean it, And I go and I try to get a fucking towel, but I come back and it was already cleaned up, or I assume it was, because it fucking disappeared. And I go and I fall asleep on my friend's couch. I don't know, maybe 20 minutes later, I wake up again and I have to take a shit. And I go into... This will probably be our first video that has an age restriction on it. Anyway, I go into the bathroom and I take a shit. And apparently when I did this, I was so fucking loud that the other couple that was in the room next to me, we were also doing business, had to stop because they were laughing so fucking hard at the sounds I was making in the bathroom.
I can only imagine.
So, the next thing I remember, I was back on the couch, I was waking up, I had a hangover, a headache, probably one of the only times I ever had a hangover, and I just have this, overbearing smell of shit. So, yeah, it turns out that when I went to take a shit the night before, I completely forgot to wipe my own ass. So yeah, I had to go home quick and clean up there.
Throw them underwear away.
So that was probably my worst personal experience, but I generally have had some sort of fun in a lot of party situations, and I usually don't get that bad. But the next party where things got really bad was a college party. I didn't go to college, but my friend did, and he had a bunch of his friends from his college come up. I know this might get a little confusing because I keep saying my friend, and people might blend together, but who the fuck cares?
You have a few friends.
I had a lot of friends then. So we're at his party, and what ended up happening at his party is there was a fight that broke out. Is the first thing I fucking remember. A fight between a couple, I guess. They were fighting in the bedroom, and my other friend was with them. We'll just call this one Afro because he is Afro from a previous story. And as they're fucking arguing, he punches the wall and punched a hole straight through to the other side. And
do you remember why he did it or what he said?
He said he did it in the moment to shut up the other two because they were arguing and yelling.
So he Hulksters the door?
So he fucking punches the wall and puts a hole in it. Mind you, this is a rented apartment. It's not his place. But yeah, he punched a hole in the wall, and he comes and gets me, and he's like, Matt, come look at what I did. I mean, I could kind of see what he did already. But he took me into the bedroom, and he's like, look at the hole. He's like, I did that with my hand. He's like, do you want me to do it again? He didn't even give me a fucking chance to answer. He just goes, BAM! A second time. And that time he goes clean through, like, there's just a huge fucking hole going from that room into the living room now. And then, in the course of this party, the next thing that happens is we lose somebody.
You lose somebody?
Yeah. Well, the guy had said he twisted his ankle or something like that. And he was going to go outside or something, get some air. I can't remember what happened, but he was injured. Yeah. He hurt himself. And so he shouldn't have been watched. But, I don't know who the hell brought it up, but they're like, hey, where's this dude? And nobody knew. So we followed the last place we knew he was, which was going down outside. And we see the apartment door downstairs open. Mind you, this is not my friend's apartment. It's just some other tenants. And we go in there, and this guy is throwing up in this person's toilet. Draped over the toilet, and he can't walk to get back upstairs.
So this was a different apartment?
Yeah, it was an apartment downstairs.
Why did they lock the door?
I don't know. The person wasn't home. So...
What does that mean? Why wouldn't you lock the door?
But we made sure to get him the fuck out of there as quick as possible. And we brought him back upstairs, tucked him into bed, made sure he was taken care of. So the next morning, we all crashed in our respective places. And this is probably the best moment of the whole fucking party to me. My friend Afro fell asleep in a chair that was placed directly underneath the hole he punched in the wall. And he was the last one to wake up. We all knew what happened. We saw what happened. There was very clear evidence of what happened. He wakes up, and he goes... Give me the phone. And we give him the phone, and he calls his mom, and the first fucking thing he says to his mom is, we're not getting the security deposit back. But...
He probably felt his hand, that's why he's like, what the hell?
No, there was a huge bruise on his hand. But I have other little stories here or there, like the fact of one of the parties I went to, I had one of my friends punch me in the face just to see if I could feel it, which I didn't.
You better tell that one you always tell me.
What?
The one where you like, oh, we'll drop this concrete stuff.
Oh yeah, there was the... Okay, yeah, I guess because there's a lot of stuff that happened at that one, I will go over that.
You should.
Even though we're running short here. So at this next party that I'm talking about, my friend's girlfriend, he had a long-distance relationship going on, and he brought her... Well, he didn't bring her up, but she decided to visit up here. So while she was here, they decided to throw a party because we were all of the fucking party age, you know? So every time people are together, that's what you have to do. Not only at this party... The few things that happened, first of all, was me and Afro, whole table of liquor, and we decided to play a drinking game. And in this drinking game, you take sake cups. Well, they're supposed to be sake cups because it's a Japanese game, but we had red Solo cups. You put a ball underneath them, underneath one of the cups, you mix it up, and then you have everybody at the party flip up a cup until the little red ball's found or whatever. However many cups are flipped up, that's how much you drink. Problem is, the only people that actually ended up playing this game were me and Afro. And because me and him were the only ones playing, like, other people were like, oh, go ahead, drink for me and all sort of stuff, because they didn't want to get, like, completely destroyed. But because we were the only ones drinking, we got really fucking drunk really fast, and probably polished off about $200 worth of liquor by ourselves. And this led to me... First, trying to kiss my friend's girlfriend. 2, taking a diving elbow drop onto the floor.
Concrete.
Yeah, it was a concrete floor. That's also where I coined the name Drunkico, which I don't know where I got that, but I was filmed by somebody at this party. And I basically said, I am Drunkico, whatever. I also had a very long thumb wrestling match with one of my friends that seemed to last like 30 minutes or so. The other thing that happened here is Afro, who was completely smashed. My friend's parents were at this party, and he was very rude to them. He told my friend's mother to get the fuck out of the party because she was killing the mood, and her husband comes in and gets in his face saying that he was being rude and he was belligerent and all sort of stuff. And Afro goes, when he's doing that, he goes and just flips him off. So my friend's father grabs his finger and he's like, you want me to break it? And a drunk person has one of two ways to go. One, they'll think you're serious and they'll probably back down. 2 is what he did, and he goes, I fucking dare you. He kept saying that to my friend's father, just like, come on, break my fucking finger.
He didn't? Or tried to?
No. I think he knew that probably have led to more problems if he did, but regardless, Afro wasn't allowed at that location anymore. I think I probably rambled a little bit in that story. I apologize. But moral of the story is just don't get fucking drunk, I guess. I mean, it sounds like it's a lot of fun. It kind of is at times, but we're not endorsing it. We're not endorsing it.
Don't get blackout drunk.
Yeah. Drink responsibly, have fun, whatever else. Do we have any question we want to go off on this week?
I always think of the questions. You think of one.
Alright. What would your favorite drink be? I mean, seeing that we're talking about this kind of shit.
Alcoholic or?
Yeah.
Whiskey sour.
You think whiskey sour would be it?
Yeah, if it's made right, yes.
I really don't have one. I drink mostly just normal beer because I'm, I guess, boring. I do like whiskey and rum sometimes. Not as much whiskey, but rum I do like. Captain Morgan, whatever. One of the drinks that I don't recommend that I had once was a Four Horsemen, which I drank that when I went out to the bar with Afro, again. If you can't fucking tell, he's brought up a lot. And it's basically like 4 shots of fucking strong-ass liquor. And it's literally designed to get you to smash as quick as possible. Oh, man. I do like Jaeger bombs. I actually think those are pretty okay. But, yeah. And during that particular fucking night, I had a few too many of those Jaeger bombs on a fairly empty stomach. And we went back to my friend's girlfriend's house and ate all the fucking food that we could find. And then we wanted more food. So we made her take us out to a grocery store to try to pick up some more shit, which was not probably a good idea, having 2 large drunk men running through the store.
You guys bought a Reese's cake, and you ate the whole Reese's cake.
Yeah. We also fucking, like she said, we saw cows in a field, and we wanted to go eat the goddamn cows. Don't
drink Jaeger bombs, because apparently they make you really hungry, but you shouldn't have energy drinks mixed with alcohol. That's very unsafe. I don't understand how Ford Loco is still in business.
Well, anyway. This is upside down, isn't it? Anyway, I do thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell some of your stories down below. We'd love to hear them. And also, I didn't bring it up in our last podcast, but this is still going on, at least until the end of September. So if we reach those 100 subscribers, you won't have to see these ugly-ass pigtails anymore. But until next time, do you mind stopping this? Because I can't see shit.
Bye.
Hey everybody, this is Matt here. I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And for another video, go ahead and click one of those videos here in whatever corner it's in. Thanks for watching.